The old man said, "Oh, Demon King, now listen to my story carefully. This deer is my uncle's daughter and my wife. I married her when she was 12 years old. She was very devoted to her husband and followed my every order. But when 30 years passed since our marriage and we did not have any children, I bought a maidservant because I had a strong desire for a child. After some time, a son was born to the maidservant. After the child was born, my wife started hating the child and his mother very much. I am very sorry that I came to know about my wife's hatred after a long time. Coincidentally, I had to go to another country. I insisted my wife to take good care of these two after me and to take care of their comfort and trouble. If God wishes, I will return in a year. My wife started hating them both after I left. She also started learning black magic. After I left, that evil person transformed my child into a calf with his magic and handed him over to my servant, the cowherd, to take him to his house and feed him and make him fat. Similarly, he transformed my maidservant into a cow with the power of magic and sent her also to the cowherd's house. After returning from abroad, I asked my wife about my son and his mother. She said that your maidservant has died, and I have not seen your son for 2 months. I don't know where he went. I was very sad about the death of my maidservant, but sat patiently. But I was hopeful that someday I would meet my son. After 8 months, the festival of Eid came. I wanted to sacrifice an animal on this festival. I called my cowherd and told him to bring a healthy cow for sacrifice. Coincidentally, he brought my maidservant who had turned into a cow with the power of magic. When I tied her legs to sacrifice her, she started belching in a very pitiful voice and tears started flowing from her eyes. Seeing her condition, I felt pity for her and I could not use the knife on her neck. I told the cowherd to take her away and bring another cow for sacrifice. Hearing this, my wife became very angry and said that this cow will be sacrificed. The cowherd does not have any other cow more healthy than this. Due to her abuse, I again took the knife in my hand and prepared to kill the cow. On this, the cow started screaming even more. I got into a strange dilemma. Finally, I gave the knife to the cowherd and said, "I am not able to use the knife on this cow. You sacrifice it." The cowherd did not feel pity on the cow's crying and screaming, and he turned the knife away. When the cow's skin was removed, everyone saw that there was only a skeleton inside it. There was no trace of flesh anywhere. The reason was that the cow's health was only due to illusion. I was angry with the cowherd that why did he keep the cow in such a condition that it became so thin. I gave the cow to the cowherd and said, "You use it for your own use, bring a calf for me to sacrifice, but it should be healthy and strong, not like this cow." The cowherd soon brought a healthy and strong calf. The calf was also very beautiful to look at. Although I did not know that the calf was my own son, yet on seeing it, love started overflowing in my heart, and that calf also broke the rope and fell on my feet on seeing me. Due to this, the source of love in my heart started boiling more strongly, and I started thinking how to kill such a lovely calf. These feelings made me very upset. Tears started flowing from the eyes of that calf. This increased my love for him, and I told the cowherd to take back the calf and bring another calf in its place. On this my wife said, "Why don't you sacrifice such a fat calf?" I said that I like this calf very much, and I don't feel like killing it. Don't force me to do so. But that cruel, evil person continued to argue, and out of malice insisted on killing it. Tired of his arguments, I took a knife and went to cut my son's neck. He looked at me again and shed tears. Such compassion and love swelled in my heart that the knife fell from my hand. Then I told my wife that I have another calf, I will sacrifice it. That evil mind still insisted on killing the same calf. But this time I did not care about her blabbering and returned the calf. Yes, to console my wife, I said that I will sacrifice this calf on the day of Bakrid. The cowherd took the calf to his house. But the next day early in the morning, he told me in private that I want to tell you something and I hope you will be happy to hear me. My daughter is proficient in magic. Yesterday when I took the calf back, she laughed and cried on seeing it. When I asked the reason for this strange thing, she said, "Abba, the calf that you have brought back alive is our master son, That's why I was happy to see it alive. I cried because before this its mother had been sacrificed. Due to jealousy, our master's wife had turned this mother and son into a cow and a calf through magic. Whatever I heard from my daughter, I told you exactly as it was. Oh, Demon King, now you can imagine how much grief and anguish I must have felt on hearing this story. I was very sad and silent for some time. Then I went to his house with a cowherd to hear this story from his daughter. First of all, I went to his cattle shed to see my son who had turned into a calf. Before I could touch him, he came to me and started pampering me so much that I was convinced that this was my son. I went to the girl and told her the story I had heard from the cowherd and asked her if she could turn this calf into a human again. She said, "Of course I can turn him into a human again." I said, "If you do this, I will give you all my wealth." The girl smiled and said that we are your servants. You are our master. We will obey your orders. But I will give the calf a human form on 2 conditions. One is that after it becomes a human, you marry it to me, and secondly, the person who has turned it from a human to an animal should also be given a little punishment. I replied, "I completely accept your first condition. I will marry you to it and will give both of you so much wealth that you will not lack anything till your lifetime. In the second condition, I leave the decision in your hands. Whatever punishment you think is appropriate for him, the same punishment will be given to my wife. Yes, I will definitely say that although he is a wicked man, but do not give him death penalty." The girl said that whatever he has done with your son, I will do the same to him. Saying this, she took water in a cup and after chanting mantras on it, she brought the calf in front of her and said, "O servant of God, if you are a man and have become a calf only due to magic, then regain your previous form with the mercy of God." Saying this, she sprinkled the enchanted water on him, and he immediately turned into a human. I lovingly embraced him and said to him in a choked voice that it is because of this girl that you have got a human body again. You should repay her favor and marry her. My son happily agreed to my request. The girl similarly enchanted the water and transformed my wife into a deer. My son married that girl, but unfortunately she died after a short time. My son was so sad that he left the country and went somewhere. I did not get any news of her for a long time. Therefore, I have set out to find her. I did not trust anyone so much that I would leave my dear-turned wife with them, so I took her with me and roamed from country to country in search of my son. This is the story of me and this deer. Now you decide for yourself whether this incident is strange or not. The demon said, "It is undoubtedly strange." I forgave 1/3 of the merchant's crime. Then Shahrazad requested Shahryar that when the first old man finished telling his story, the second old man, who had 2 black dogs with him, said to the demon that I too will present my story and that of these 2 dogs before you. If it is better than the first story, then I hope that after listening to it, 1/3 more of the merchant's crime will be forgiven. The demon said that if your story is more strange than the first story, then I will definitely listen to you.